Hello and welcome to this video lecture presentation on factoring common terms. So let us first start off with some simple numbers here. If I have 6 plus 8, we know that's equal to 14. Hopefully you agree with me that I could break down 6 into 2 times 3, and that I could break down 8 into 2 times 4. What we want to do with factoring is we want to look at all the terms that are separated by plus and minus signs. We want to see what's common, factor them out, cross them off our list of terms here, and then put back in parentheses whatever's left. So, for example, when comparing this to this, what's common is the 2. Since the 2 is common to both, we will cross them off our list here, and then we put back in parentheses what isn't common, which is the 3 plus the 4. So let's verify to make sure that this level of factoring is actually correct. Order of operations says that I have to take whatever's in parentheses first. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. So you can see that this matches with this, and that's how we want to factor. So let's look at another factoring example. So I have 6ax squared minus 18x to the third. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this out. 6ax squared I'm going to keep exactly as is, but 18 I'm going to expand out into 6 times 3, similar to what I did over here when I expanded out to 6 and 8. So 18 is 6 times 3. X to the third is x to the second times x to the first, or just simply x. Now, if you could see what's common without doing this step, you don't have to include it. I include this just to illustrate to students what is visually common between these two sets of terms. So we compare the terms that are separated by plus and or minus signs. In this case, it's a minus sign. So we're going to compare the 6ax squared with the 6 times 3 times x to the second times x, which is this 18x to the third, just expanded out. So we look to see what's common. Here it's a 6. We cross it off our list. Then we also see that there's an x squared that's common. We cross it off the list. And we see that there's nothing else that's in common, so we just put everything that we didn't cross off back in parentheses. So it's an a minus 3x. What's very nice about these factoring problems is you could check to make sure that you're correct. This was our original problem right here. If I use the distributive property and distribute the 6x squared to everything in parentheses, I should get back to my original problem. If I didn't, I did something wrong. So 6x squared times a is 6ax squared, because the commutative property says that order between the x squared and the a doesn't matter in multiplication. So I could switch the order to reflect this 6ax squared. Then I take 6x squared minus 3x. 6 times minus 3 is minus 18. X squared times x to the first. It's common bases involved in multiplication. So therefore we add the exponents. So we end up getting right back to our original problem, 16ax squared minus 18x to the third. Now let's look at another example to illustrate this idea of factoring. So I have 3ab squared minus 6ab plus 12ab to the third. So I'm going to expand this out here into 3 times a times b times b. I'm going to expand out this 6 into 3 times 2 times a times b. I'm going to expand out this 12 into 3 times 4 times A times B to the second times B. Why did I do that? Because B third is equal to B to the second times B to the first. So now we compare everything that's separated by plus and minus signs. And now we look to see what's common. I have a 3, so I cross it off the list. I have an A. I cross it off the list. And I have a B. I cross it off the list. So now we put back in parentheses whatever we weren't able to cross off, which is B minus 2 plus 4B squared. Now this B and this 4B squared are not like terms, so we cannot combine them. So this would be our final answer. And remember, just as a check, you could always distribute this by multiplication to make sure that we get right back to our original problem. And that is our lesson on factoring common terms.